Number 10 will be the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Yeah, the Super Bowl champ, the Super Bowl MVP. Really kind of an incredible year when you really think about it. The ultimate leader, okay, that's the first thing I'll say. He's tough. He's the same guy all the time. He can handle the Philadelphia criticism, good or bad. He seems to take it all in stride. And he brings a skill set to their offense that makes them almost indefensible with all the talent they have, and then what he brings to the table to kind of put it over the top to where you're just like, oh my God, what do we defend? We're trying to stop Saquon. We're trying to stop the receivers. Oh no. And then he scrambles or he keeps the ball in a quarterback design run, and we have to worry about that too. And it's just too many things to worry about. And that's where he's special for the Philadelphia Eagles and what he brings to the table for that football team. Now, is he perfect? No, he's not. I know that. And that's what we're going to discuss here a little bit. There's things that last year you heard me say, and I had him ranked a few spots higher to where I said, listen, it was a down year, but there was things I liked about how he played in the pocket, the throws he made, the variety of throws he made, which I thought was something that was new 2 years ago when I went, oh, wow, damn, we're seeing more touch, a little more anticipation, all of that. So there was growth in the pocket. This year, again, there was moments of that. Right? And we saw that. And the cool thing is he really saved his best moments for the last two games of the year, the two most important games of the year. Against the Washington Commanders, NFC Championship game, played his best football maybe there. And then, of course, in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. I mean, their mid-second quarter, the start of the game, let alone then mid-second quarter going into the third. He really, and the offense took over and dominated and put the Kansas City Chiefs away. Yeah. But with him saying all that and all his skill set and the leadership and the mental strength and all that, is he perfect? No. There's a reason he's at number 10. And there's still flaws in his football game that need to be addressed, need to be fixed. And, they win the game still with him not playing perfect. And this is where, again, I do the dirty work to go, let me decipher here, right? But there's no quarterback in football that has more advantages on the field at the position than Jalen Hurts.
You've called him a super team in the
past.
Right,
they're a super team. And that's not a shot on him. But he gets the advantages of, yes, having to worry about all these other things, right? And all the greatness of the Philadelphia Eagles. He can not play great, and they can still win. He gets a lot of great looks on defenses where I'd go, wait, nobody would ever play this defense against Lamar or Mahomes or anybody like that. Right? But you got to take your chances against Philadelphia. You got to put your eggs in one basket to stop something. And that sometimes lends itself to like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're playing this pass defense against Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, right? So that's where we got to discuss him a little bit, some of the positives, some of the negatives, and where he can go from here.
Well, that's part of the thing, too, with him. And he has stepped up in the biggest games. Obviously, his numbers in the Super Bowl are awesome.
Pretty incredible.
This tier is called The Truth Hurts, and I think that's applicable to him because it's like, what is the truth? And sometimes the truth is he's carried by his team, and other times he is carrying the Philadelphia Eagles. And so whatever you think about Jalen Hurts, you're probably right at certain points throughout his career and certain points through the year. It's just that it's a fascinating thing to think about. What if he was drafted by the Carolina Panthers back in the day? What if he was not on this team?
Right.
So, yes, he is helped by that, but to the same point, it's also like he hasn't always had the opportunity to carry a team, and so it's like you can't necessarily mark him down for that just because he does play on a super team. Perhaps he would be able to show a little bit more with a little less talent.
No, I think, well, if you went in and you're making all the right points and leading me in all the right – if you just went purely on passing and throwing, I'd go, well, no, he's below 10. He's below 10. It's one of the slower releases in all of football. Like, it's not in the top half of football as far as being able to get the ball out of his hands and do that. Arm strength, it's not in the top half of football with arm strength either. Decision-making wouldn't be in the top half of football as far as what he does in the pocket. But the other stuff that he brings to the table and the hanging in the pocket tough, scrambling and making big plays there, making plays on the run with big throws, buying time in the pocket at times, handling pressure, not only physically, mentally, all of that, his ability to rise to the occasion in big moments, his ability to not mess up games in big moments. Yeah, those are things that I all take into consideration here. There might be some guys that are better than him or whatever else, but I go, well, they mess up the game in every big moment, and they do things that aren't conducive to winning football. So, yeah, I give a little bit of that. right? But are there some missed throws on his film? Of course.
And there was frustration last year with the Eagles. A.J. Brown, you could tell. There was some frustration.
Well, one of the weaknesses, this is where, again, where I get animated about this conversation, because we're all in a little bit of like, revisionist history or people of the moment, right? Yeah, I know the last 2 games were good. We can't forget that, like, the 10 before that were not good at all. Like, we're the downfall of the football team. So there's got to be a little here to where, like, some people are going to look at this and go, man, this is harsh. He's a little low on Jalen Hurts, right? And I know people are going to say that and understand that. But I think at the same time, right, with some of the play and what he did and everything like that, some of these games were closer, or the ones they lost, or letting teams hang around. We're like that because Jalen Hurts didn't play great football within the pocket week in, week out throughout long periods of the season. Now, where it gets lost in translation is they win those football games still. So people just forget and they go, oh, they win. But I want to go, wait, let's go back. Like, come on, people who think I'm being a jerk to Jalen Hurts. Let's watch 3 or 4 games in a row, and you'll see, like, oh, my gosh, a lot of completions, a lot of bad reads. What are we doing in the pocket? I'm not sure. What are we looking at? And that's where, right, I'm trying to talk here. There's a middle ground that we can all meet here. There's some people that think he's way too highly overrated, and I would say most of them are outside of football. It's the biggest disconnect between what the public thinks and what the league thinks about a player that I think I've ever come around, right? The public thinks he's one of the 3 or 4 best quarterbacks in football. I would have a hard time, I think, finding coaches in the NFL that would tell you he's a top 10 quarterback. That's what I would tell you, right? You've heard me say this before, where teams, when they play Philadelphia, their goal is to get him to play quarterback. So that tells you something in itself to go, wait, if we don't let him scramble and run and we make him play in the pocket and have to make those type of throws and do all that stuff all the time, we feel like that's our best chance to win a game. That's not the talk of a top 2 or 3 quarterback. You know what I'm saying there? So he does a lot of good stuff, and I think he's still going on an upward trajectory. That's the thing I like about Jalen Hurts, and I know he works and does all the little things off the field to make himself better. But this year, in some ways, I actually looked at it and went, yeah, I don't know if he played as good as he did the year before. I just think the team was better around him, and that allowed him to buy him some time to really show what he had late in the season. And, of course, he played his best football then.
He was 9 in the countdown last year for you, so it does drop down a spot, but
Yeah.
he's top 10 for the 3rd year in a row for you. Last thing, what do you think Kevin Patullo, he's the pass game coordinator the past 4 seasons, now the offensive coordinator. A.J. Brown told LaShawn McCoy on FS1 a couple weeks ago, the offense is really the offense. They don't care who the coordinator is. You come over here and you fit the Jalen Hurts offense. That's what it is.
That's what it is. It's the Jalen Hurts offense. You've heard me say that too before. He's kind of just, I think he's told I know. He's told the organization this is what he wants to do, and they just go, okay, right? So part of their simpleness on offense is also Jalen Hurts doing. All right, there is some of that there. You can look at it and go, wow, they don't do a whole lot, but okay, it's got to be somewhat of what he wants there. The formula is tried and true. It's simple. They don't need to change a whole lot. We've seen. I mean, as long as he just hits open receivers and doesn't turn it over, they're tough to beat. Because Saquon's going to run for 100. He's going to make a few plays off schedule that are going to break your back at times. And then we know A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, you get them the ball in space, they're going to make some plays that are above and beyond what's expected in the playbook there. So he's a winner, and I know that. He's been a winner. Yep. He's tough. He battles all of that. Yes, sure. But as you saw, we went through a stretch here this year. And it's rare to see a Super Bowl team with a quarterback who played the good as he did those last 2 games, but a team that won the Super Bowl to have the type of quarterback play that they had from him in the middle part of the year. Yeah, it is shocking. I'm not going to paraphrase here, but I mean, I'm going to throw Devin McCourty into the mix a little bit. Okay. I remember him watching film during the year, and he was like, man, yeah, damn, watching Philly's pass offense, it's tough. Right? It's a little all over the place. Mm-hmm. He was inconsistent with decisions and throws and what he did in the pocket and all of that. You heard A.J. Brown at one point. Like, what's the problem with him? The passing offense. Boom. Right? So there was issues there, but they worked through it, and we'll see. Maybe it takes off to another level this year with another year of comfort in the offense, being the man in Philadelphia, and having the pressure of I won the Super Bowl, and there's pressure to be taken off just because of that.
Some mean things have been said about Jalen Hurts in the past, but on
Yeah.
this podcast, the meanest thing was said by Devin McCourty. So just remember that, everyone out there that wants to get
Well,
the Twitter.
I was like reluctant to throw that out there because I'm just trying to give
Yeah.
backings again. At times, you can go, and when it comes to the Eagles, right, they can win we've had these conversations too, even in like Brady in his last year in New England, where the team might win 4 in a row. But it doesn't mean the quarterback play was like, oh my gosh, stellar, unbelievable. But when the season's over and we look at the record 14-3, we just kind of go, oh, no, it was better. It was good. It was good. And I was like, no. We're forgetting about what we were talking about during the season. And all I'm just trying to say is, yes, to give another name of a guy that I know watches film, he knows good quarterback play. And, yeah, I'm throwing him under the bus a little bit so he can help me out on Twitter to back me up a little bit.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to do Rutgers basketball and be like, I think they're playing really well, but Devin McCourty says the coaching stinks right here, just to throw him under the bus. All right, and he squats 600 pounds, which I think seems to be part of the evaluation as well.
His running is a part of the evaluation,
The
like
tush
I told
push.
you. Well, all of it. What he brings to the table in that aspect has to be taken into account on where he's ranked. And the fact that one of the reasons they can run an offense is kind of simple the way it is because of his running ability. Sure. That little extra added incentive is just enough of a schematical advantage that it really puts defenses in a bind to go, I don't know what to stop here, right? Right, so that's the big thing. But he is clutch. He's got ice water in his veins, no doubt about that. But he does miss too many throws. There's too many plays left on the field, yards, points, whatever, throughout the year this year. They played too many games that you go, oh, that was probably closer than it needed to be, and that was because the quarterback play, the passing offense just was not hitting on all cylinders. Yo, homies, what's up? Thanks for watching Chris Simms Unbuttoned, and just because the weather's warm doesn't mean football ain't still on our brains right here.
We are still working, so smash that subscribe button. We got all the training camp news, preseason news, everything up until kickoff night.
Thanks for watching, and again, remember to hit that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.